When we were 11, I called Andre's house to ask him to play doubles together in a 12 and under tournament, and national tournament, and we did play together. Took a tough loss in the finals, but that's where we met and started our relationship.
We've competed against each other since we were 11 years old. Went to Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy. It's pretty cool to come full circle. Actually has a real unfair advantage over other sports. Most other sports take years of dedication to fully sort of experience it, right? But pickle, it doesn't matter what level you are. You step on that court, you grab a paddle, you try to make contact, and every 10 minutes you're getting better. I mean, period, wherever you are. That's why the participation side of the sport, I believe in dramatically, as much as tens of millions of people are playing it. I think it's just only going to get more, especially globally. And I think having a way for all these people that kind of come together in a community sense to know where their levels are, so they can maximize those hours of their day, I found in my experience to be crucial. That's where both of us see DUPR as a huge asset in the growth of pickleball.
I think pickleball does have an advantage because of two reasons. Number one, the path to competency, Andre mentioned, it's so much shorter than other sports. I mean, you literally can learn how to play in 5 minutes and be able to rally back and forth and feel like you're doing something. And then secondly, and actually I'll steal this from Andre, I heard him say it about a year ago on TV, is that people are getting better. And lots of these players, even if you're in your 30s, certainly 40s, 50s, 60s, like, we're not getting that much better at most things we do in life, right? So to be able to literally get better at something, just an incredible feeling, and something subconsciously probably that is getting people a little bit hooked and addicted. So many people I know have not played yet, but want to play. So I think participation-wise, it's going to blow the other sports away. I think it'll take some time for the players to start watching on TV and understanding it, but it's a very nuanced sport, so it's hard to see how great the pros really are until you're playing. You realize, like, oh wow, that's really hard what they're doing. But it's going to happen, there's no question. DUPR has become increasingly critical for club owners because one of the most important experiences for our pickleball members and players is to have level play. When they come out and have a few hours to take out of their day or week, they want to get a great game, a great experience. And so we've used DUPR to slot people into different skill levels for our programming. So whether it's clinics or leagues or open play sessions, you know that you're coming to a session that has players of fairly similar ability. So you're not going to feel really intimidated. You're not going to get beat up and have a terrible experience. You're also not going to come be the best player by far, where it's not even competitive or challenging whatsoever for you. So I think the first step is to encourage our members and players to get on DUPR, sign up for an account. It's free. It takes about 30 seconds, so it's very easy. Get the app, download it on your phone, and then attend a DUPR rating session where you can come out and get your first rating. You play with people who have never done it as well, and then once you have your rating, then it's very easy to find the right program to come play. You meet people in your group. It becomes very community based. Then you can follow your growth and see how you're progressing, or you just know you've got a great group of 20 people to come play with 3 times a week and have a great time. So it's really worked amazingly well at our club and all the DUPR digital clubs around the country. Well, we're approaching 1 million users on DUPR, which is an incredible feat this early in the journey. And I think in the United States, our distribution is already really, really good. Almost every club is using DUPR. The Pro Tours are using DUPR. The biggest collegiate events are DUPR. So we're trying to get the more amateur rec player to understand DUPR so that they can also have fun with it and use it. I think educating them that it's not only for very competitive players, that it's a great way to figure out who you're going to play with, how to see how you're improving, even at an amateur level, and really just the functionality of the app.
I think DUPR is going to be a great vehicle to grow the sport, because the more you understand about it, the more you can engage with it, more competitive and more challenging, right? Personal competitive, just those benchmarks of senior improvement. I think all that is great to growing the sport. So, and I see globally too.
I want to add one thing on the global because I missed that. I think that the growth for us, a lot of it will be global, and I think it's so important for the sport because currently 90% of the players worldwide in pickleball are in the United States, and the best players in the world by far are in the United States. And so as all these other countries are growing and trying to develop programs and national programs and players and tournaments, having a metric like DUPR for them to use versus the existing base of players in the United States is so crucial for them to understand how to program their events, how to slot people to help them have fun and enjoy the game, how to grow and get better, and then ultimately, as you go up the pathway, compare yourselves as you're trying to become a competitive player to the best players in the world, because that's really the aspiration piece of it. And it's just, it doesn't seem to make any sense to have people aspiring to get better and not using the metric that's already used by all the best players in the world and the majority of the players. We're hosting the DUPR National Collegiate Championships in November. We have over 600 participants, teams from over 60 or 70 schools. So that's already happening. We both have kids that are late teenagers and older, and they like to play and mess around socially. So we're seeing it at all these levels. High school, just the first county approved high school is a varsity sport in Maryland. Just in the last few weeks. So it's just starting as a sport in high school, and I think that's going to take off like wildfire because the college club teams are massive already. I think there's 100,000 college players on club teams, and high school obviously is going to feed right into that. So most of the growth we see in the sport around the country is at a younger age. That's why DUPR becomes so important to connect these younger players who love technology, love the app, love to connect with each other, measure games against each other, etc. So
a lot of people still think it's an older person's game. It has gotten so much younger because it doesn't matter your ages. And kids can play. A parent can go out with their child and play it. There's so many ways that this is like family-driven, community-driven. This is where I've been thrilled to be a part of this because I played tennis my whole life, and it's been very frustrating to me early on. I think it's much less now, and it's going away. Tennis players have sort of turned like a snobby nose to pickle, right? It's like, and I'm going, these two sports can exist like and play so nicely together in the sandbox. If you want to do both at a high level, my advice would be rotate them equitably because you don't want to put tennis aside for 6 months and just full sprint in pickle because it actually can somehow affect your sensibilities on a tennis court. And you don't want to do the opposite, right? You don't want to just go get better tennis and then all of a sudden throw yourself back in the pickleball court. So I find rotating them regularly helps that balance and the success in both arenas. Somebody that's going from tennis to pickle, speaking about doubles more, singles translates pretty seamlessly from tennis. It's racket, it's ball, it's geometry, and it's just smaller, and so you figure it out pretty quick. But the interesting thing about doubles and tennis, like tennis, the balls hit faster or further. You kind of dance with the ball, you move with it, and then you're always using your energy to go through the ball. And in pickle, it's so different because you have to have urgency to get to the ball because the ball won't come to you like it will in tennis. But then when you get to the ball, you have to then sort of drop your blood pressure and make a sensible shot. It's like counterintuitive when you first start to play. So my advice would be, just understand that, there's a little more urgency on the front side, then relax when you hit it. And then the other tip I would give is, if you're just starting in pickle, just think feet. Whether you're being offensive or whether you're being defensive, just if that ball is going to that person's feet, wherever they are on the court, you're making progress.